Professor Worgley's here. We got the switcher example to work. The switchable project is working. Now we want to add another scene. You'll notice I have the view in the controller. You'll also need the model. So you can imagine A is your login. Okay, so I have a login. Maybe B is my home page. And then maybe C is my about page. And maybe you want another page. Okay, so what I would do is create an empty fxml. So I need to create a new fxml file, which will link to the corresponding controller. So I'll create an empty fxml, and we can just call this D. Okay, I'm going to call it D. I'm going to click on next. I want to create a controller. It will be called D controller. So I'll click on next. Do I want CSS? It depends on if you want to make awesome styles, which is a way to get bonus opportunity. So here's a chance to create a CSS file. So I'll click on yes, then click on finish. So now I have a new fxml file. If I open this fxml file up, you'll see I have an anchor pane and some corresponding information. Okay, so I'm going to do something similar. So I open up D. You would actually then make your fxml file. Okay, so I have a clean slate here. I have an anchor pane. I'm just going to put some text on here. So I'll put some text. It can be anywhere. I'm going to call it D. So this is my D view. And I'm going to create a button. I'm going to create a button. We can create a menu bar. And this is basically say, go back to A. Okay, go to A. And this is just to show you what scene that we're on. Okay, we try to put towards the middle. I got some space there so it doesn't look perfect. On A, I can use an event listener. Okay, so you'll see how easy it is to write the layouts. So get your layouts finished. I don't have a method yet, but I can create my own. So I can say go back to A, click on enter. You'll see the white page, so make sure you save it. You should be pretty familiar with Scene Builder now. And then once I've finished the code in Scene Builder, I can right click the fxml file and do make a controller. If I open up D controller right now, there's nothing in it. So if I do make controller, you'll see I have my event listener here. Now the first step is D needs to extends switchable. All the controllers need to be of type switchable so I can store them in the hashmap. And then over here, I just say switchable dot switch to. I'm going to switch to A. Okay, and I could create another one. From D, I can go back to C, B, or A. I would just add some more buttons there. Normally, you'll want to use good UI design. So usually the next button is on the lower right. The back button is on the lower left. Although I see a lot of students have a menu bar at the top. And on the menu bar, they can click which scene they want to go. So they can say, go back to the login, go to the home page, go to the about page, go to the settings page, go to the output page to save the data. Okay, so you can have a bunch of different pages. You can have a nav bar up at the top. You can have a menu bar up at the top. You can have buttons on the left and the right. It depends on how you want to set up your UI. And then on C, so if I open up C, let's say I create another button. And let's say from this one, I only want to be able to go to D. Okay, so I have a button here, and I'll put an event listener. You'll say handle go to D. I'll type enter, and then make sure you hit save. And then on the C controller, you'll see I don't have that method, handle go to D. So on C, I'll do make controller. You'll see it add that method for me. I'll call the switch to, and I'm going to go to D. Okay, so if I run this, that's how easy it is to set up another view. Create an empty fxml, create the controller. You'll see here I'm going to go to C. From C, I have a new button, which is going to go to D. On D, I can go back to A. And look, it's all connected. So within 5 minutes, you can add as many scenes as many controllers as you want. And that's why I recommend that you use this code base for your final project, because it's really easy to add a new scene. You can use this as your starter code, and then you have your view and your controller. The only thing you need to do is add your models so you can implement MVC properly. Okay, so you may have a model for your login. You may have a model for your home page. May have a model for your about page, which holds the data for the about page. You may connect to an API. So you may have a model for D, that connects to an API, pulls information from somewhere. You can see how easy it is to create another model. The last thing I want to show is how to pass data. I'm going to do that in the next video. Stick with Professor Wergeles, and we'll see you in the next video.